kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels slow, just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live here in Las Vegas. My name is James Rawls, and with me in the booth is Rhea Ferris. We got a special night for you, Rhea. I know you just got out of the cars at Vegas. Tell us about that. Definitely excited to be here, excited to be racing at a time with a lot of stuff going on in the world and a lot of stuff going on in a couple of our leagues here. You'll see on the bottom right, we're going to have Trisha's Hope up for Brian Tarnowski, who is in a couple of our leagues, very integral part of our shows. He lost his wife to breast cancer. If you've been following for any amount of time, you know that she has been battling that, and she got her wings last week and is watching from upstairs right now. So we've been asked to bring in Brian Tarnowski, and that is what we're gonna do. He wants to say some words, and I guess without further ado, Brian, man, I'm glad to have you here, but I'm very sorry about the circumstances, brother. Well, I know all of us up here, we've been thinking about you. I know I personally, you're in a couple of my leagues, and I've been invested in hearing about you and how you're doing. But without further ado, doing all this public, I heard you want to say some words, and the floor is yours, sir. I appreciate it, Brian. So, but I'll tell you, all this week I've had Trisha's Hope up on the bottom right hand of my screen. Can you tell me a little bit about that and what people need to know?
Stacy was very allergic to flowers, so that's why any flowers or anything, because she couldn't have them anyway. All the proceeds from the funeral, I'm donating to Trisha's Hope.
Definitely. So, well, Brian, I apologize. In true James Riles fashion, you were muted on the podcast for the first part of it, but I heard what you need to say. You're live now. I heard the Trisha's Hope stuff. I apologize, everybody there, but Brian, really, our thoughts and prayers with you now, and hope that you can find peace in all this.
Yeah, I couldn't be. It was time. She even said it was time. She didn't want to do it anymore, and we did everything we could. And she, like I said, she went peacefully. Me and my son were with her when she went. So
Definitely. Well, Brian, take your time, like I messaged you. Find your people, and everybody out there as well. Um, if you're battling with this, struggling with anything, reach out to your people, make it happen. Brian, good luck tonight here at Vegas. I know we got, like you said, we got Stacy's wings on the 5, and hopefully we can focus on it a little bit and just have a good time out there running and getting our mind off everything going on in the world, sir.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Brian, my condolences to you. I just can't imagine what you're going through. It's It's but we are thinking about you in the booth, and you know, just she's in a better place, and I'm sure she's watching tonight, smiling down below. So just get out there and do a good run for her, right?
Yeah, hopefully keep it straight. I've been
There you
sideways
go.
quite a bit, so
Yeah.
just gonna take it easy. And I know if I wreck her car, I guarantee I'll wake up with no covers on tonight because she'll make sure I freeze. So, not knowing her, so being a smart ass as she was, so yeah.
Well, definitely, sir. All right, man. Well, again, good luck. We'll talk to you hopefully at the end of the race, right?
Oh yeah, definitely, hopefully. That's my plan.
We'll see you then, Brian.
All right, thanks, bud.
All right, so there you go. Brian Tarnowski talking to us about his wife, Stacy. I'm going to post a link to Trisha's Hope, or the obituary. You can find out the information on how to donate to Trisha's Hope. And everybody out there battling with cancer, or you know someone who's battling cancer, who has gone through that, remember to reach out to your people. So getting back to the racing here, because we've got to do the job, right, Rhea?
Yeah.
We have a pretty good one here. It's looking like at Vegas as we're going to go ahead and go through the grid. We've got James Ray up front. Behind him on the first row, Alex Murray. Row 2 is going to be Barrett Coffey and R.J. Root. Row 3, Chad Sander and Joe Stafford. Then we got row 4, J.C. Gibson and Jarrett Small. Steve Dardaris, Nolan Hodgins. Row 5, Dakota Cave, Jeff Carson. Row 6. Row 7 is going to be Andrew Layton and Brad Gunn. Row 8, Jeff C. and Ryan Samuelson. Row 9, Robert Nestor and William Fink. Then we got Nicholas Bridenbach and Randy Spivey.
Starting 21st tonight, we got Dave Regal, and to the outside, Charles Eaton. I believe he got third place last week, so he's going to start 22nd tonight. Chris Claude, the team owner, starts 23rd. Christian Stewart onto his outside in car number 73. Starting P25, Kevin Rourke, and Steve Giberson in the car number 60 and 26 tonight. Then we've got P25 starter John Asbuwalda III. And Jad Khalif out of Canada starts 26th. Brian Tarnowski, we just spoke to, starts P27. Tony Burt, 28th. And then we've got Lauren Jones and Alex Princeton. Derek Jacobs, 31st. And Dalton Mobley, 32nd. Austin Story starts 33rd tonight. Matthew Gaskins down there in P34. Kavaja Holt, 35th. Siva Cortez starts 36th tonight. Chad Sander and Steve Giberson, 37th, 38th. Josh Ward, Jeff O'Rourke, 39th and 40th. Warren Young, Chris Gore Sr., rounding off your very full field here at Las Vegas as we're about to go green here momentarily. A full house and a deck of cards. Are you ready for some action here in the Sin City, Mr. Riles?
I am. I'm excited. I know we are going to be doing a lap of silence for Miss Stacy Tarnowski, and I just wanted to recheck and make sure that paint was loaded up so y'all can see it and all the work that went into it. So please join us in a moment of silence for Stacy Tarnowski and all those that have battled and dealt with cancer.
It is.
All right, green flag is out as we're trying to get that figured out. RJ Root out to the front. JC Gibson down below him. And Joe Stafford there in third. A little bit of issue with SDK not realizing where our leader James Ray is. It's put him a lap down on my screen. Is that what you're showing, Rhea?
No, I don't have anybody a lap down yet. So it must be something to do with the live timing. But I do have James Ray in P1 right now, leading the way in that 00 machine here on lap 2. Unless the live timing's messed up. I know that there are some issues that I was having pre-race, but
there we go. Now it's going to fix itself, folks. As we are rolling here, trying to get everything going for you guys. James Ray still up front in the 00. Alex Murray behind him. Barrett Coffey in third. And JC Gibson there in fourth in that 27 machine. RJ Root in the number 8 looking good. And then Joe Stafford there in sixth position.
yeah, JC Gibson being pretty patient there in P4, running behind that Busch Light machine there. He's just trying to stay on that high side there, and looks like he's going to try and work his way up there at some point. But so far, so good. It's pretty clean out there. I'm happy to see some good racing out there, and gonna get separated a little bit, and we can have some long green flag action out here, unlike a little bit like we saw last week at California. Hopefully it'll be just a little bit better out there. This is a much smoother racetrack service. In my personal opinion, I know everyone would say something else, but my personal opinion, this is the easiest track on the circuit. Hands down, it being smooth, it's easy to drive, it's easy to stay off the wrecks. I get a lot of 0Xs at this track myself. So hopefully everyone else has got that same sort of formula in their blood tonight here. But I look forward to seeing some clean and green flag. What do you think, James?
Yeah, as we have a little bit of issue there. Christian Stewart looks like into somebody. As again, guys, Austin Story there. Going into the pits. But front two taking it away. Farther back, Nicholas Bridenbach. Jeff C. in their battle.
Yeah, we've got a car that got really high up there. I'm trying to see who that was. I think it might have been maybe no, it was I think it might have been Bridenbach there. He got pretty high up into the fence there. No, it was Jarrett Small. But saved it. That's good. And keep it green here. Lap 8 in the books. And we do have a caution now, and it looks like it might have been a Charles Eaton situation. And a Chris Claude as well.
Yeah, Chris Claude, I see.
Yeah, I'm trying
Dave
to
Regal.
pull it up myself. It's Chris Claude. Trying to get on the action here. SDK not cooperating as well as it did last week for some odd reason.
Here we see Chris turned around. Oh, there it goes.
So it looks like the Chris Claude situation here, it was the 15, I believe, that was out of control. Yeah, Kavaja Holt, he was continuing to roll it backwards instead of locking up the brakes. Just didn't allow traffic to clear him. But also too, part of that was a Days of Thunder move. Chris, hey, from one league owner to the other, I'm gonna knock you dead on that one. that was a diss. You should have got on the brakes a little bit sooner there, Chris. You know you coulda. But moving on. Unfortunate break for a few cars there. Got tangled up here at Las Vegas, but we'll recover like we always do. That puts James Ray up front. He resumes the lead from Alex Murray. So James Ray from Fallon, Nevada will lead the way once again as soon as that pace car decides to dive down on the pit road. But yeah, interesting incident there. I don't know exactly what was the original cause of that, but I think otherwise we'll be all right. Check out some of these paint schemes that we got out here too. Some of them are pretty nice looking. I know that Cheetos car is checking out last week, and then I've always liked that one. And then there's some other new drivers out here too that I haven't had a chance to broadcast yet. And some of their paints.
Well, Rhea, before we get into paints, I'm having some issues with loading in. So if you could just tell us a little bit, you said this was the easiest to drive. It looks like it's just one long turn and then the Nellis straightaway.
Yeah, it's very smooth and wide. I mean, I consider it to be pretty much like driving on a cloud or even like butter. It's just extremely smooth. There's no way really to break loose here. It frustrates me if there's even one caution in my league at this track, because it's just too easy.
Yeah,
it just requires very little effort to wheel around at this track, and for anybody to really get tangled up too much at this track, it just means that they just weren't paying attention. They lost focus somewhere. Perhaps they were streaming, or I'm not saying these guys, but I'm just saying in general, somebody's possibly streaming or distracted. The dog jumped on their lap or whatever it was. And that it almost takes something like that for a wreck to happen here. Where, at the other tracks, we got the bumps, we have the different angles. You have to arc it into a corner. You got to watch up high. You got, spins in front of you, like at Bristol I just had. And, you just, at a track like this, I have high expectations. But I did a little bit at California last week too. But comparing California to this one, California has the bumps. It's a much older track. They are going to be remodeling that track and reconfiguring that configuration altogether, which is why they let it kind of fall by the wayside as much as they have. But Vegas, they've maintained very well. I know of nothing as far as them ever redoing this track, so as far as remodeling it. So I think in general, Vegas is a very good track to kind of even keel the field out a little bit too. I know one of the commentators on Live NASCAR, and again, I'm not going to spoil anything either, but mentioned that Las Vegas, usually the winner at Las Vegas is going to be a top contender in the championship, because it's a bread and butter kind of track. If you can't do well at Las Vegas, you're not going to have a good season. And I agree with that, because majority of the races that NASCAR goes to on the schedule are going to be 1.5 mile tracks or something similar. And this is the easiest one. And so if you can't do well here at 1.5 miles, you're going to be struggling later. So I agree with that. And I'm not going to mention his name, but if any of you watch the real life NASCAR race, you'll know what I mean. But, they're going to be taking the green here once again. James Ray on the point. Green flag here on lap 12. 00 gets a nice start up front and brings Alex Murray in that 40 machine behind him on the high side, as he will settle down into P2, bringing Barrett Coffey up to third. Or I should say now, JC Gibson actually challenging for P3. JC Gibson now up 2-3 in that Propel Toyota as he gets settled in there. That's a nice looking paint there on that 27 machine. JC Gibson out of Pensacola, Florida. And then Barrett Coffee now in P2 back here. So getting back single file. I'm going to try and keep it clean a little bit. Looks like that Raymond Root machine, or RJ Root, I should say. I'm starting to learn some of these names out here. Looks like he's got maybe a little bit of a faster car than that 4 car in front of him. I expect maybe a little bit of a pass here past that 4 machine here before too long. But yeah, looking a little bit further back, we have Ryan Samuelson in that 81 machine running P8, and Bridenbach is now up to P11, up 8 spots since he started the race. Seba Cornez is up the most that I can see so far. Seba Cornez having a fantastic night here at Vegas already. He is up 24 spots to P15. So that Costco Toyota on the move, James.
Yeah, as we just now see the 21 of Dave Regal getting it all wrong, hitting the inside line. Everybody else pretty much doing all right. Steve Giberson has jumped to the pits. That was right near Brian Tarnowski, which the paints have fixed finally. So you can see that beautiful paint scheme that Brian's got on there with the wings for Stacy. And dare I say, we're going to get this thing figured out, ladies and gentlemen. Alex Murray up front, James Ray, Bear, and finally Barrett Coffee's paint is up. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have all the paints ready to go.
Yeah, and again, looking at that number 27 machine, that's an eye-catching car there on that Toyota, driven by JC Gibson. I mean, just the chrome numbers, the wheels, you can just tell people put a lot of care and work into these paints, and just hats off to these guys out there doing these paint jobs for these teams and the cars. I know it takes a lot of skill and a lot of time. It's very meticulous work, because you got to get the little pixel dots in there, especially if it's got some sort of, splash or flame or whatever on there. So way beyond my pay grade, nothing I can ever do. So I appreciate all the painters out there, especially with these next-gen cars and all of these new paint schemes that are coming out for the next-gen, the placement of the numbers, all that stuff. They have to redo the whole thing, the whole field, and a lot of them are doing it for free just to put in trading paints for guys and gals out there that are wanting to use those in general NASCAR leagues. So appreciate it very much. Getting back to the race action, Alex Murray now up to the front in that 40 machine, James.
Yeah, been up there for a minute, and that Ford started in second. JC Gibson up 5 positions. He's now challenging James Ray in the 00 down low. With Joe Stafford, teammate there. Matt Gaskins in the grass.
Matt Gaskins, yeah, one off track. I'll take a little bit of replay at car number 79, that RC Cola. That's my favorite beverage, by the way. It's my favorite soda. Yeah, he just, I think he may just had an issue where he had to hurry up and exit out, or had a computer malfunction. But that was a good call on him to find a safe place to park that 79 machine out of harm's way. We stayed green here on lap 21.
Yeah, there's he got it out of the grass and kept it down. We've seen, I've heard on the forums, I've been listening to all the folks that are driving these machines, and they've talked about the fact that, this car is very hard to drive. Well, yeah, it is. It's a lot harder to drive than the previous 2 weeks at the 2.5 at Daytona and the 1.5 over the 2 mile, over at Fontana. I think people got a little spoiled to it, possibly, the longer tracks, and then they come here and realize that it's a little bit harder to drive. You talked earlier about this being an easy track. We saw even in NASCAR, it's easy enough to get it wrong coming off some of these exits with the way the new car handles. You have to have a really good downforce package. It really has to be stuck to the track. Otherwise, because it's so flat, any amount of air that gets under there is going to unsettle you.
Yeah, these cars are a lot different in their steering. You have to use a lot of uh, different settings to get the steering ratios to match up and handle the way you want. Coming out of those Gen 6s, you were just accustomed to the settings you needed to do, the brake bias, the just everything that needed to be done for that car. Now you go to this car and it's much lower, and the tires are a lot thinner. So the weight differential in these corners, it's a lot different of a drive. So the steering is going to be completely different. So it's almost like jelly on the default settings. You really got to tweak it. I know that they're probably running. They're running fixed setups. Is that correct?
No, open setups.
Oh,
all
it
the
is
way
open
through.
setup. Okay. So open setups is even more challenging. On our IROC series in ISNF, we run open setups too. And I will tell you firsthand, the default settings, no matter what you choose, it's like jelly. And what I mean by that, the force feedback is almost not there. As looks like we had some free wide action going on here between the 27, the 40, and the 8. We don't want to miss that action as I'm talking here, but it's a lot of different what am I trying to say? Adjustments that need to be made. So therefore, a lot of practice must go into this. If you're one of the ones that, puts the 40 hours in at work and then, does family stuff and this, that, and moving into it or whatever, that's cool. But you got to find time to practice somewhere for a couple minutes here in between, because come Sunday, you're not prepared. This car is going to be all over the place and you won't know where to even start.
Definitely. Talking about the drivers, we've got one in the booth with us. Dave, partner over there at SRM and ESPN, we saw getting a little bit pinched there and going down to the bottom. Is it you calling your race?
Well, I mean, I'd like to at least get back out there eventually, but right now I got 17 minutes of required repair. It was a rough one, rough couple of laps, and to Rita's point, I mean, open setups, there's a lot more of a different competition level. There's a lot of guys that are running a stronger car just because it's set up stronger.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've dealt with that in the truck series. I'm one of those guys. If you've ever watched the Majors Garage commercial we put on, I don't have the time to do the setup, so I always reach out to my homies in the booth with me right now to get those juicy setups. But you know who always has a best setup, Dave? And that's Joe Stafford and the Propel folks. It seems like every week, setup's all they talk about.
Joe Stafford, the Philadelphia native, is amazing when it comes to setups. And I know that there's a couple of guys in this league, including my teammate Bob Nestor, who build their own from scratch. And it's an art form, but I'm one of those guys that doesn't have time to sit there and figure it out and build it. I actually I use Premier Racing setups tonight.
There you go. Premier Racing Setups, our sponsor here. We're going to talk about them, but more importantly, the sponsors for this Sunday night NASCAR, Davis Brothers Roofing, the first of them. If you need any roofing done in the greater Tennessee area, you can holler at them over there. Davis Brothers Roofing, they've been doing it for a while. They can help you out with your business. If you got a roof over some industrial property, commercial, whatever you got going on, they can also come to your house. Get that roofing project. Income taxes are in. It's time to put a new roof over your head. They're the guys to do it for you, as we have stayed green pretty much the whole of the race. One caution. So far, we're beating the real-life NASCAR folks, as Ryan Samuelson working on Barrett Coffee here into 5th. Ryan's been working, trying to get up to his field filler buddy over there of RJ Root. We haven't really seen them be as dominant this year. Are we seeing a little bit, Dave, of Dave and Rhea, of the fact that these cars are easier or more level than previous builds?
I think that these cars, especially because it's definitely more of a level playing field mechanically, we're seeing a lot more different people at the front. Here in SNN, James Ray driving the 00 is the new one to kind of be the Pied Piper of SNN. He's got back-to-back wins in Xfinity. And here Sunday night, he's still up front, battling it out with R.J. Root and Joe Stafford and Nicholas Bridenbach, the usual suspects up front.
Yeah, like absolutely. I mean, we've got usually it'd be you're used to seeing Joe Stafford and R.J. Root up there, but J.C. Gibson in the 27 machine, he's up there. Barrett Coffey, Nicholas Bridenbach, a lot of drivers that were in the playoffs. They made it in on consistency, but now we're able to come out here and showcase their skill. So speaking of which, guys, everyone at home, I appreciate the heck out of you guys sticking with me through the technical issues. I'm not sure what was going on. I think there was an issue between the seat and the microphone. But if you are watching, you can let us know. And absolutely let us know who you're looking to watch, who you want to get some more time in. We can definitely do that as we try to work through the field here. We want to hear your input. So Alex Murray still out front, Raymond Root in second for the time being. As we say that, James Ray has taken over. Joe Stafford there in fourth, J.C. Gibson in fifth, Ryan Samuelson in sixth, and Barrett Coffey in seventh. We got quite a bit of a gap back to Nicholas Bridenbach, which we got a slow car on the field. Who is that? We have the 43 lap car. 48, Jeff O'Rourke falling back.
Yeah. But that Seba Cornez machine, I've been watching him all race. And that car number 16 Costco machine is up 29 spots now from the start of this race by lap 36. It's impressive as all get out. Either he's a poor qualifier or he just likes the challenge that he puts himself in to see how far he can climb. But nonetheless, Seba Cornez on the move here at Las Vegas. Just can't speak highly enough about it. Maya gave him a little bit of broadcaster's curse there as he dropped a couple spots as I was kind of highlighting him there. But I don't know, tire window here. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe tires are starting to become a factor here now. Might start seeing a first round of a pit stop coming up. What do you think?
Yeah,
pit stops are definitely good. Sorry, go ahead, James.
Go ahead, Dave.
Pit stops are definitely going to be a factor here, especially as we've ticked off this many laps. Seba Cornez, to your point, Rhea, he does usually start pretty deep in the field, but he is really strong. And James, I do know that Seba gets the show. He is a follower of the Lebedard show. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a NASCAR correspondent, Dan Lebedard, let us know. We got you.
I'll be there. He'll have the cafecito poured.
But I mean, up front, we got that 00 and the 8 car. They have been side by side this whole time we've been talking about Seba Cornez. They're just racing as clean as Mr. Clean himself. I mean, this it's fun to watch. It's actually kind of refreshing to watch two drivers like this, RJ and James Ray, just having fun out here, getting it done on lap 40 and gonna see which one comes out on top. But no, it's been a fun race to watch some of these guys. Again, I'm still learning some of the names, skill levels, who's who driving what, but I'll get there. And I don't know who an underdog versus a top performer is, and I'm excited to learn all that because I stay so embedded in ISNF stuff that it's so nice to be able to come here and just kind of, kick back from the responsibilities of getting, I need a black flag cleared or this guy hit me or whatever, and just have some fun with you guys, broadcasting another league and seeing how they all do it out here. And sometimes I get a little envious at you guys to get to actually race this long for clean laps. But oh, we have a car loose. Doritos car in the wall. I can't see who that was.
That is Lorne Jones in the 11 Cheetos car.
No, that was a 67. 67 gets hard in the wall. In the Doritos machine, you are right, and that is all upset. I think we might even have a blown engine here.
Jad Khalif.
Yeah, Jad Khalif, as we were no caution. He's going to keep it there, but we do have a shout out for Jeff C in the 11 or the 45 Toyota.
Yep. Jad Khalif with
about
some-
to get left and righted.
I was just saying with the Doritos machine, there's a lot of right side damage on that machine. He's coming in the pit road now. He's got some right front and some passenger door damage there. So these guys have no fast repairs. So hopefully he doesn't have a meatball flag. Hopefully he can get a little bit of damage fixed and get back out there. But he may be calling this one as far as getting a win out there tonight. But tough break for the 67.
Definitely. And as we approach lap 45, probably our first set of green flag pit stops coming up, we're going to go ahead and go to side by side. Shout out some of the great sponsors that take care of this league, and we'll be right back.
Davis Brothers has been providing homeowners and businesses with exceptional roofing services since 1983. From repairing roofs on small homes to installing new roofs on large commercial retailers, no job is too big or too small. Your home is an important part of your life, and your roof is an essential part of your home. We understand that. Whether you're inspecting, repairing, or replacing your roof, we'll treat your home like it's our very own. Low slope, steep slope, big or small, it doesn't matter, we do them all. And remember, we have the capabilities and the manpower to take on any size job. When it comes to your roof, it's important to be proactive. Choose an experienced roofer you can trust. At Davis Brothers Roofing, we are your experienced roofer. Contact us today for a consultation and let us earn your trust.
You know that guy? The one who, just minutes before the green flag, keys up his mic and asks, "Anybody got a setup?" Well, this is him. This is Adam. And Adam needs some help. This, on the other hand, is Steve. Steve is a solid racer, and he knows his way around the garage. Steve's problem is time. With a job and a family, he can't find enough time to build competitive setups and to race as often as he likes. But Steve knows a secret. Steve lets our crew chiefs do the setup work so he can focus on the racing. At maturesgarage.com, Steve can get setups for over 50 cars on the iRacing service, so no matter what series he wants to jump into, he is covered. Somebody really should tell Adam.
With the Buttkicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Buttkicker, the future is feeling.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, green flag pit stops have been taken. As we have our first takers, were those up front. Rhea, do you have an idea of who came down?
Yeah, pretty much everybody except for Steve Dardaris. Actually, Steve is in now. Everyone has gone in at least once so far tonight. Looks like JC Gibson and Kevin Rourke are in there as well, getting ready to come out. And Jarrett Small is in now as well. So, yeah, everybody in and out. Barrett Coffee.
Ooh, that was a interesting pit entrance from Barrett Coffee. Almost losing it.
Yeah.
Alex Princeton So what you're saying is these guys that the last pitted lap 9 are the ones that are left out. So far, so good, but they've lost a ton of time on the fresh tires.
Yeah, I would say they are going to be definitely off sync with the rest of them. I like that personally as a driver. I like to find a way to get off sync. That's how I bang out top 10s. I try to get it in a way where it lands in my favor. So they may be on to something here. I understand the tire wear. They're slower, especially with these guys coming out of the pits now with the faster tires. They're going to start being a lot faster than these guys went the slower tires. But I think getting that sync out there where there's that 8 to 20 lap difference between the tires will matter later on in the race if we have a late caution, because that's going to make a difference of who has an extra set of tires in their back pocket, or we'll start, say we have a late caution with 10 to go. Some of these guys are going to be on fresher rubber and won't even have to pit, so track position will be all important. Boom, they get a top 10 out of the deal. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see here. We're on lap 54, so I guess our next round of pit stops, if we stay green, would be right around that century mark. So, but for these guys that pitted around lap 9, they're going to have to come in here in the next, 6 or 7, 8 laps? Oh, we got a caution, so that fell into those people's favor. So now the tables have kind of shifted here, and that strategy that we're talking about has landed literally right in their court. So the ball is in those courts of those that just pitted on lap 9 but haven't made that second round yet. So we're talking about drivers like Alex Princeton, Matthew Gaskins, and Dalton Mobley, Chad Sanner, Josh Ward. Those 5 drivers especially really, really making out, and they were probably so happy to see that caution. Do we know why the caution came out? I have not seen any.
Lauren Jones and Barrett Coffey. Looks like they get it all upset.
Unfortunately, SDK not providing the replay action for us.
So that started with Barrett Coffey.
Yeah.
Make sure I can focus on where it happened, folks. Sorry to break the fourth wall a little bit there.
In turn 3 or 4. Yeah. So somebody just got a little bit too low there. It looked like maybe Lauren Jones got just a little bit too low on that corner. Maybe perhaps hit the apron.
Oh, that was the 4. The 4 got into the 60, came down on it. The 11 tried to avoid and ended up going around. I believe that's what actually caused it, as Barrett locks him up there, maybe trying to shift. But yeah, we've called out Lauren Jones a lot for stuff that he didn't do. Lauren Jones has been doing a heck of his race. First, Dave gets in there, putting him on blast for something he didn't do, and now Barrett Coffey causing a caution that he gets blamed for as well. Lauren, I'm sorry about you, man.
I promise, Lauren Jones, it's nothing personal. I know you used to race in my league. I'm not picking on you because you left. You're just a victim of circumstances of our incorrect call outs here tonight. But
don't say our. Don't say our.
Hey, you said so. Oh, what do you mean out? Oh, you're not going to own up to any of them. Okay.
Nope. I'm a third party here.
Wow.
As there we go,
Dave
folks.
Regal, is this normal? Is Dave Regal still in here? I guess not.
I am.
Yeah,
no, I'm right here.
Confirm with you. Does he always not own up to stuff?
I didn't.
No, actually, this is the kind of league where when you do something boneheaded like me, pretty much everybody usually gets right on the mic and they're like, hey, that was on me. Very rarely do you have the in-race argument.
Yeah. I'm jealous of that. We had plenty of that tonight at Bristol, and last week at Martinsville. So
this group has been together for quite a while now, and Chris Cloud manages everybody very, very well.
Chris, can I hire you to come over and whip everyone into shape over at my league as well, if you're listening. But yeah, I think it's just, a matter of, I try to be strict, but they just walk all over me sometimes, and I try to nip it in the bud, but I just don't have any help, or as much help as I should say, and I just get overwhelmed. But Chris Claude seems like he's got a pretty good team backing him up if he's able to be this successful as a league owner for SNN, and he does have a fantastic league here, and it's really nice to see. And like I said earlier, it's refreshing to see these guys race as clean as they do, and now you're saying that they're owning up to their own actions on the track too, so that's just even more classy right there to hear that. So
yeah, and when you talk about the ownership structure in SNN, it's actually a family of racing series, with Cup on Sunday and Xfinity Series on Monday and Thunder Trucks on Tuesday. And the three commissioners that run those leagues, between Chris, Bob that does Xfinity, and Barrett Coffey driving the number 4, the three of them work really well together to keep everything in order.
yeah, well, definitely is a lot of work involved in it. Anything from just keeping these guys in check to making sure they practice to answering questions, and people come and go all the time as well. So it's a lot of work.
Yes, they're 2x2 sending the wave arounds. Barrett Coffey, one of them. Nicholas Bridenbach, Nolan Hodgkinson. A lot of people trapped there due to that caution caused by Coffey and the 0-0. I think we're going to see this all day if we focus on it. James Ray and Raymond Root up front, about to go green. They've been side by side the entire time, all but as they are. Go ahead, Ria.
I mean, it's seriously going to come down to these two drivers. That 0-0 and the A machine, they've been side by side all race long. It's been fun to watch, and I don't think either one of them have the better of the car. It's going to come literally down to the driver. So who's the best driver tonight? And is it going to be that Ford, or is it going to be that Chevy? Or is it going to be that Ford in the number 40 there? But 0-0 gets a nice jump. Lead him off the way here, lap 60, James.
Everybody lines out up front. Dalton Mobley, the only one trying the high line. These guys basically have fresh tires. Alex Princeton, Dalton Mobley, Josh Ward, those that stayed out and were able to come down pit road while everyone else was trying to catch up. Chad Sanner there as well, and Barrett Coffey, look at that. He is already up to 8th position, closing in on Chad Sanner. Let's take a look at that restart, how he gained all that momentum.
Yeah, it looks like he was able to dodge down, or duck, I should say, down on the line there. They passed through 3 wide there. So nice move by the 4 car.
Yeah, check up on the bottom line. Forced him, I guess you can say, forced him to the high line. And able to really recover here. That's going to be huge. Is James Ray, Alex Murray now throwing his hat back in the mix up front. Then we got a battle going to be forming here. This is your, let me make sure, your lucky dog, Seba Cornez. So keep an eye on that in the ticker in the 21 position. Make sure Small doesn't catch up with him, since he's going to be pushing. So the battle within the battle here. Jeff C. We've already got one, him. As
yeah, Jeff C. driving that number 45 Monster Energy machine. The Kurt Busch lookalike out there.
Oh, sorry. James Ray just went off my screen because of a throughput issue. I thought we had an incident. My apologies. Alex
Murray up there to P2. in front of RJ Root, and then got RJ Root and Dalton Mold. Oh, and looks like the 8 machine is going to try and make an inside move on the 40 and does with ease. As the 8 car of RJ Root on the move sets his sights back on the 00. Can he catch back up? There is now a 0.45 second, almost a half second distance now between P1 and 2. So
we're seeing Dalton Mobley, who started in 36th position, using those tires that he got to his advantage. He has the newest tires. He's going to get underneath RJ Root like it's nothing for now, and has not completed the pass, but he's going to give him his work worth. I think RJ is actually going to just loose up and let him go. He doesn't want to be battling side by side, because at a 1.5, you do not want the leader to get out too far ahead, because you will not catch him.
No, and you also don't want to burn your tires up too early either. I mean, so, racing fast because you got new tires is one thing, but conserving those new fresh and fast tires too is another. So making sure that he tries to balance that line a little bit and not use up his stuff too early. So 77, one to keep an eye on. Is he going to use them up, or is he going to conserve? Right now, it looks like he is not conserving too much. It looks like he's going to go ahead and continue to try to drive away from the 8 car. But that's what you got to do, though. I mean, there's also different strategies, too, as far as the way you arc it in or don't arc it in. And then you've got, where's your steering ratio and your brake bias and all that. It all comes into play here at a track like this as far as tire wear goes. So, be interesting to see, too, these guys some of them are on different pit cycles. So yet again,
as the battle for the lucky dog causes an incident.
Seba Cornez and the number 79. I was actually watching that battle, so everybody saw it live. They were trying to put themselves in a position to be if something happened, like a caution, but unfortunately that's going to be all but be their race. Let's take a look. Matt Gaskins, kind of a innocent bystander here. There we go. Look at Seba Cornez, and this. Seba Cornez gets loose and dives down into Matt Gaskins. Or was it the 79? I mean, I'm from my vantage point, I'm looking at the 79 as came up into the 16. This will be one for the review team. I'm going to stay out of my opinion, but maybe you're right. The 16 may have got a little bit loose. I don't know. It's one for the review team, but needless to say, I mean, that was a hard lick to the outside retaining wall and brought another car with them, tapped a few along the way. So Seba Cornez coming up with the ugliest hits of that crash, though. Tough break for a very fast car that once was here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, as we got a bunch of pit stops coming in. Looks like Jeff C. and Alex Princeton have stayed out, but everyone else in all the way back through P18. So
tell us what you think about that one, folks, in the chat. If you have an opinion, I am usually wrong on these things, but Alex Princeton deciding to stay out. Jeff C. I think Brian Tarnowski was. Let's see who's going to get the lucky dog here. I believe it is going to be Brian. When everything is all said and done, as long as he stayed out of trouble. But also during that last stint, Joe Stafford having some issue.
Huh. What kind of issue? Let's see where he's at right now.
So, looks like that was almost a very close of what just happened. One car coming down, the other car coming up. Luckily, the 57 was able to save it. But now he's got some work to do in 18th.
Well, Alex Princeton and one of my favorite paint schemes out there is going to take the green, but on older tires. How soon will it be before he gets gobbled up by the fresh rubber? Won't be long, will it? Based on what we've seen so far. But gets those bonus points. I did confirm with the league owner, Chris Claude, that they do get a bonus point or so here in this series for leading a lap. So Alex able to get those ever so crucial bonus points coming his way.
So far, lap times looking very similar as far as your best times are concerned. Looks like everybody's able to more or less go out there and do what they need to. 30.10, 30.7, but RJ Root and them, James Ray 29.99, RJ Root 29.96. It's closer than you would think on these guys and what they're doing.
Oh, yeah. Yep, for sure.
As we have somebody shouting out for Alex Princeton, and James Ray so far is the crowd favorite, unless Humphreys Motorsports, you're talking about me, and you're telling me let's go, which I appreciate it. But most likely talking about James Ray, as he's the only James out there that I can see down 2 positions so far, but he's been up here the whole time. Last came in lap 69, nice with a bunch of other folks. I don't think Jeff Cronin is going to be able to hold up here. He's going to have to do a lot of work. He's going to have to survive for a couple laps at least there on the high line before we're going to see these guys with fresh tires kind of even off. But Alex Princeton, I think he's a little bit closer. We'll see here as Humphreys Motorsports did confirm and break my heart that he was talking about James Ray. I kind of knew that, Humphreys and Chris. So I kind of knew that, and I'll say that right now. As Alex Princeton, huge checkup.
Oh.
Huge checkup up front.
Alex Princeton leads the way, though, out of Lake Elmo, Minnesota. Here on lap 73, breaks away from the crowd. 00. Going to try and reel him in, though. 00 on fresher tires. He's going to try that high side and gets it done with ease, as that 00 now back to the point. And we've got 3 wide action behind them with RJ Root and Alex Murray getting a little slicey and dicey back here, I want to say, as now we've got pretty big battle between that 40 machine, 77 and 8. So fun stuff here at Vegas, as everyone from about P3 back has got fresh rubber, so they're going to try to make some evasive action as far as getting some positions back. We've now gone past the halfway point of this event by about a dozen or so laps. So I know these guys are going to start looking on the downhill slide here, trying to get the best they can out of the deal without getting caught up into any kind of trouble either. That's the other point. But yeah,
Yes, they're all the way through. Everybody's kind of checked up. I'm gonna let this settle out, and then we're gonna take a look back at that restart, as we're 3 wide here. JC Gibson, Ryan Samuelson to 27 of JC Gibson gets turned around.
yeah, we got a caution. JC Gibson, see if what happened there. JC driving that number 27 machine gets turned. So you had help there by perhaps that green car. I can't make out who that is.
That was the one of Josh Ward.
Yeah, it looks like it just all fighting for the same piece of real estate there. 27 may have just came up on him. It looks like the 27 maybe didn't realize he was there or thought he had more room up there. But the green car of Josh Ward, a car number 1, it looks like he was giving plenty of room. He couldn't go any further up. So tough break for those machines. They were having a pretty good day out there, and I'd like to have seen them get some strong finishes out of it. I know Josh Ward looked like not a whole lot of damage to his number 1 machine, but the 27 definitely taking the brunt of the damage for sure. So that Toyota's pretty well used up at the moment. So we got a shuffle. Looks like a couple more people in the pits. Looks like Bob Nestor has came in. Barrett Coffee, Randy Spivey, Dalton Mobley in as well. Princeton finally comes in. Josh Ward gonna kind of see what kind of damage he's got. Go from there. So Chad Sander also in the pit. So a little bit of a shuffle midfield. James Ray back on the point. So
yeah, fan favorite again up there in the number 1 position. Our poll winner from Enville Insurance Group gives out some cash money to the fastest time, and that is James Ray. So he's going to be going home with something no matter what in the 00 car. We talked about it. There's some people in the chat talking about it, that he's going to be hard to beat tomorrow in the Xfinity cars. Double dipping a little bit backwards in real NASCAR. He gets to start in the next gens and then work his way down. So I'll be racing him Tuesday. Not super excited about that, but it'll be interesting to see how all this is going to translate and learning. Raymond Root, another one, does double duty, triple duty even. As these guys up front, Nicholas Bridenbach, one of those who was a comeback story last season. He was able to make it into the playoffs last minute. Has absolutely shown out this season, up to 4th right now in the 24 machine. Good on him.
Yeah, he's up 15 spots, and Ryan Samuelson running 5th place right now. He's up 11 spots in that number 81 Chevrolet. So a couple big movers there due to strategy and just staying out of trouble out there. So it's fun to see some of these guys move up from the back and just see what they've got. Maybe the challenge for the lead at some point to get them on camera. I know a lot of people like to get out there and lead a lap under the broadcast, and we love to see new people lead it. So good on them. Any other fans out there in the stands watching, definitely shoot us a message. Let us know who you're cheering for out there tonight. We'll try to spotlight your favorite driver.
As a lot of cars down, Brian Tarnowski, last car. He's the first car a lap down. Got Jeff Carson. He's going to be battling for the lucky dog, Kevin Rourke. Josh Ward also a lap down. He was involved in that last incident that was accredited to J.C. Gibson. Apparently, spotter told him he was clear, and he was not. John Espewaldo the third, 24th position in that 51 machine. Derek Jacobs and Seba Cornez, who has been battling adversity back and forth, trying to get in and get that car fixed. Every little option he can. As I think in the 22, Randy Spivey in that Mission 22 machine. Great paint job there. And we're finally able to see.
Yep, because you're finally able to see it.
One of the things that you're going to see from a lot of these drivers is that even when they're damaged and down laps, that they don't hang it up easily. They don't hang it up early. I think Brian Tarnowski, we're going to see him hold on to that lucky dog position here before the next caution. Brian's one of those guys that hangs out and gets himself back on the lead lap and gets himself up several positions before the end of the race. One of the other things in this league is also guys they don't go to bed early. They stick it out and they battle it out.
10-4. Well, we go back to green. It is hometown hero James Ray out of Fallon, Nevada, taking the green once again here on lap 81 at Las Vegas, as Alex Murray behind him there in the 40 machine in P2, and then RJ Root in third. Actually, and Ryan Samuelson right there at his back door. So once again, Flying Farmer getting it done here at Las Vegas, and those restarts are really helping him. He's just a master at the timing and just execution of grabbing the throttle at the precise moment. You can tell he practices that time and time again, getting plenty of it again tonight practicing. But James Ray, man, just tough to beat tonight here at his home track in Las Vegas.
Yeah, especially we heard him go through the gears. Absolutely, you have to practice that in the new next-gen cars. You have to practice getting through here and working through that sequential gearbox. A little bit more gears than they're used to, and not as much fun because you don't have the gear shift. It's just the slap. But Ryan Samuelson up to RJ Root just set the fastest lap of the race with a 29.79. He is blazing, showing that the tires haven't really worn off that much. As last came in lap 77, the first one's Barrett Coffey. Everybody else from him on up came in at that fourth caution on lap 69. So we'll see when that fall off tends to happen. But dare I say, Barrett Coffey not really getting the advantage he was hoping for.
Yeah, 10-4. As Ryan Samuelson definitely on the move out there, and he's definitely on the move. I do have a trivia question out there for those watching. Something to do. So again, I've been mentioning the hometown hero tonight here at Las Vegas is James Ray. Can you name 3 current NASCAR drivers that are also from Las Vegas, Nevada? 3 NASCAR drivers that are currently active that are from this track, from this area, Las Vegas, Nevada. Can you name those 3 in the chat below? We'll call you out if you do win. And Well, this is lap 86 here, so we probably won't see pit stops again for a while. Randy Spivey back here trying to get the move on too. He's up 9 spots here, running P11. And that's that Mission 22 car that you mentioned earlier. That is a really neat looking paint job there.
Yeah, definitely up front. Not too much has changed. Oh, we got somebody. Were they fast with the Google? Kevin Harvick, Martin Truex, and Joey Logano. Is that correct?
No.
Oh.
Try again.
Oh, no, Humphreys, don't delete your... I wouldn't have got it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you out like that. Now I feel bad.
Actually, Martin Truex is from closer to where I live, and Martin Truex is from Mayetta in Stafford Township, New Jersey.
That's correct. The other end of the continent.
Harvick, Truex, Logano.
No. No, no, and no.
Can we give him a hint?
2 of them are related to one another.
We've got Kurt and Kyle Busch and Noah Gragson.
That is correct.
A guest from EE Sports Gaming.
That is 100% correct. Ding, 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 ding. What do we have for him, Johnny? As that is a winner of tonight's trivia. Kurt and Kyle Busch and Noah Gregson, all from Las Vegas, Nevada. And it was exciting to watch coverage of them at their home tracks this weekend. So I know that number 45 machine out there that is on track, driven by Jeff C. out there representing Kurt Busch tonight. That Monster Energy machine.
EE Sports Gaming is the team that includes James Ray, Ian Humphreys, and John Timms.
Ian Humphreys is on my team in ISNF. We just got off Discord together. Ian Humphreys drives the number 21 machine over there on ISNF side, and yeah, I guess he does race over here. He mentioned as well. So nice little cross league action there between the driver Ian Humphreys out there. So good shout out.
As Nolan Hodgkinson goes for a ride. Yeah, James Ray, Alex Murray, Raymond Root, Nicholas Bridenbach has become a part of this group. Ryan Samuelson in the 81 machine. These guys all lined up on lap 92 of 134. A little more than a third to go here as Barrett Coffee and the like have not found that sweet spot they were looking for as far as trying to work the tires. It seems like because there were so many yellows, didn't really hurt these guys that came in on lap 69. Princeton, Jeff C. not really getting the advantage they had hoped for as they've stepped it out. We got James Ray, like I said, Alex Murray, Ryan Samuelson. They're in 5th. Joe Stafford is kind of the link between this chain. 2 seconds back, and then Andrew Layton is leading his group that includes Randy Spivey, Steve Darderis, Barrett Coffey, Alex Princeton, and Jeff C. the next one. So we're breaking up here. A little bit of gaps as Barrett Coffey takes it to the inside of Steve Darderis and gets loose. Let's see if he's going to be able to save it. He is. Ooh, Nelly, hold on to her.
Barrett was able to save it there, and the crazy thing is he was just challenging, about 2 laps before that, he was challenging the 57 driven by Joe Stafford, and he got loose in just about the same place, and then when he tried to do the same thing to Steve Darderis, he got it all wrong all over again. So he's going to start to work his way back up, though. Once Barrett gets himself in a groove, get out of his way.
Yeah, definitely. It's Chris Watkins is a part of EE Sports Gaming, and I want everybody to know that at home over on Facebook and YouTube. Don't leave him out. Well, Chris, you got a good team around you, bud. That's how you know. How you know is when you talked about James Ray so much leading. It's kind of feeling like James Ray and the EE Sports Gaming group is the field filler racing of last season. RJ Root had 5 wins last season so far. He's been up front, but only got the one. Not as dominant this year as they were last year.
Yeah, and James Ray's going to have one heck of a points night, too, if he can pull this off, because he is in currently 26 in the standings, so he does only have the one start coming into this one, so he would have his second start tonight. If he gets a dub, man, that is going to be one heck of a points bounce for him in the positive direction. After last week, Mobley was the biggest jumper, up 20 to 8th in the standings right now, so taking a look at Mobley, where he's at in the standings, he's running 12th right now, up 23 spots. So he's got the right idea, definitely heading in a positive direction here. So he's trying to hang on to that top 8 there in the points. So yeah, I know a couple of these guys though having kind of crappy night for points. We got guys like Charles Eaton and Chris Claude and some of those guys that get caught up in a little bit of early mayhem there. So tough break for some of those guys. I know Kavaja Holt probably going to be the biggest, hardest hit out of this deal. Currently showing 39th right now. He came into this race 3rd in points. So my heart breaks for you, Kavaja. Go get him next week. And, Phoenix, hopefully you'll have some better luck for you out there in the desert. But Yeah, James Ray still at the point here on lap 99, almost reaching the century mark now with only 34 laps to go at the stripe. At least have one more one more round of pit stops ahead of us yet too. So going to be all keyed up here and looking for the money stop action here probably in the next 20 laps or so. We're just going to hope for some clean and green action, no cautions, hopefully. And then again, cautions can kind of go different ways, too, for strategy. Some people try to risk it. Some people want to duck in. Do you want to use up your last remaining set of tires? Do you want to hold out a set for maybe a later caution than that? There's a lot of different gambling, if you will, here in Las Vegas tonight. So I'm excited to see what kind of strategy comes out. But James Ray, what a night. He is just leading in dominant fashion, and I just can't get over the fact that this guy is so dominant at Las Vegas. He hasn't had really much of a challenge all night. And, we've talked about him all night, and deservingly so. But if he can do what he's been doing all night, he'll see victory lane in no time.
Yeah, definitely. We are looking at about a 1 second fall off. If someone was to try the short pit, I think we're going to need to pit one more time. I don't think anyone's going to be able to make it from here on out. That's going to be 60 laps on it. That was close on 40 laps. So I think we're going to see some people start coming in here. Olin Hodgkinson, a lot of these guys in the back are trying to take advantage of that. Going to be follow the leader up front as Ryan Samuelson. Something has happened there. He is... Oh, I'm sorry. He's got about a 3-second gap to Joe Stafford. So Joe really hoping that that's able to happen as Barrett Coffey working around the lap car, the Dasani 10 of Chris Claude. And another little battle for the Lucky Dogs. It's going to be Jeff Carson and Josh Ward. Keep an eye on them as they're coming up on the 5 of Brian Tarnowski.
And did you know, here's another NASCAR thing for you. Starting this year, the Lucky Dog is no longer. What are we using instead for real-life NASCAR instead of the Lucky Dog? I know you'll probably call it Lucky Dog anyway. But what is it actually called now? They did away with it. You know yet?
I don't have any idea.
It's called a free pass.
The free pass.
Yep.
That's a slow car on the apron.
Oh. Looks like it might be... I don't know who that was.
Whoever it was, they got it figured out, but very slow car on the apron. Might have been Jarrett Small. He's going a little off pace now, so... Yep, top 5 hasn't changed much, folks. James Ray, Alex Murray, Raymond Root, Nicholas Bridenbach, and Ryan Samuelson. Gonna go ahead and go NASCAR side-by-side one more time to get our ads out there. Of course, we appreciate Davis Brothers Roofing, Buttkicker, Inville Insurance Group, and, of course, last but not least, Majors Garage. We appreciate them. Go ahead and take a look at some ads.
With the Buttkicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Buttkicker, the future is feeling.
You know that guy? The one who, just minutes before the green flag, keys up his mic and asks, "Anybody got a setup?" Well, this is him. This is Adam. And Adam needs some help. This, on the other hand, is Steve. Steve is a solid racer, and he knows his way around the garage. Steve's problem is time. With a job and a family, he can't find enough time to build competitive setups and to race as often as he likes. But Steve knows a secret. Steve lets our crew chiefs do the setup work so he can focus on the racing. At majorsgarage.com, Steve can get setups for over 50 cars on the iRacing service, so no matter what series he wants to jump into, he is covered. Somebody really should tell Adam.
Davis Brothers has been providing homeowners and businesses with exceptional roofing services since 1983. From repairing roofs on small homes to installing new roofs on large commercial retailers, no job is too big or too small. Your home is an important part of your life, and your roof is an essential part of your home. We understand that. Whether you're inspecting, repairing, or replacing your roof, we'll treat your home like it's our very own. Low slope, steep slope, big or small, it doesn't matter, we do them all. And remember, we have the capabilities and the manpower to take on any size job. When it comes to your roof, it's important to be proactive. Choose an experienced roofer you can trust. At Davis Brothers Roofing, we are your experienced roofer. Contact us today for a consultation and let us earn your trust.
As we are back here, folks, James Ray and a host of others have came down pit road for the last round of pit stops that are going to happen under green flag, dare I say, as James pulls into his final, his first pit stop that he earned by getting the Inville Insurance Group pole award. And Dalton Mobley now going to be your leader in the 77, last pitted lap 78, so he's got a couple more that he could go. But is the undercut gonna work here, you guys think?
Yeah, it's very possible. I mean, we talked about it earlier. You know, I some of the strategy and things that were taking shape earlier, I think are going to start coming into play now, and I think some people are going to try and stretch it. You know, with 21 to go, it might be a little bit too much of a stretch, but I think there's going to be some people that are going to try and see what we got. Maybe people are shutting it off on the back stretches. Who knows what their fuel game and strategy's been since we've gone green now. But you know, I've been kind of keeping an eye on some of these guys coming out of the pits and stuff, and you know, wondering too, you know, are they going to have enough to get back up front now after everyone else sees pit road? So I don't know. I mean, we're going to see somebody like a Nicholas Bridenbach perhaps, you know, snatch a win, or I don't know. Bob Nestor now at the point, he is not pitted yet. Lauren Jones behind him. Chad Sanner, another one who hasn't pitted. So, you know, these machines out there running on older tires, but you know, with 19 to go, I think that might be a little bit too much of a tall order.
Well, and to your point with Bob Nestor leading right now at the moment, there are a lot of guys that that are really good at saving tires in this league, Bob being one of them. It seems like every time they're comparing notes and, you know, hey, how is your tire wear? He's always just a little bit more, and you're going to see a lot more guys here trying to stretch their fuel because they know they can save their tires because they're good at it. They practiced it.
Yeah, that's something I need to get better at. So maybe I need to, you know, get in that notepad as well and see what's going on. But Bob Nestor, yeah, I mean, if he were to win tonight, man, he would be stealing the show. I I don't know if he's going to have enough to keep James Ray off of his back bumper, but yeah, I it's hard to say at this point.
Well, Bob's getting ready to come in and pit.
Is he? Okay.
Yep.
They're hoping for a caution. Last time around, green flag run ended in a caution, splitting the field. But Bob had to play the cards he was dealt, and here comes James Ray. He's going to inherit that. There was no way Bob was going to make that on fuel. Tall order, but he is going to have the newest tires just in case something was going to happen with 16 to go. Alex Murray going to be in second, RJ Root and the teammate Ryan Samuelson. They're in fifth, and Nicholas Bridenbach. And it's looking right now, the top 10, the only people that started in the top 10 and are in the top 10 right now are your top three. James Ray, Alex Murray, and RJ Root started first, second, and fourth. Everybody else coming from as far back as 34th. It is the case for Alex Princeton, who is currently in 6th position. Josh Ward may be one of those that's going to try and stretch it. He last came in lap 77. He's sitting in the top 10 in 8th position.
Oh, wow, yeah. And Jeff Carson up a few spots, but we haven't even talked about him at all tonight, so he's going to look at a possibly good finish, too. So quite a few guys, big movers, some names, too, that, like I said, we haven't spoke about, but James Ray back on the point, and, you know, if he does end up getting the victory lane, it's definitely deserving. But I'm just excited to see where the point standings are going to be after this all shakes up here, and all the dice on the table have been rolled. Are we going to see a new points leader? Are we going to see some people tank? You know, it's going to be fun to watch. But, you know, talking about Phoenix next week, so, you know, different kind of track than this one. You know, with a new configuration, it's a lot more fun. I will say, you know, with the grip and the handling there, and just it's just a lot more fun to drive around it. Are we going to see a lot of the same guys that are good here, good down there? What's your history and in your knowledge of this league at a track like Phoenix?
Well, Joe Stafford is one of those who won the championship last year at Phoenix, but believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Dave, but did Robert Nestor not win that race, but was not in the playoffs?
Correct. And actually, Robert Nestor won the truck series at that track. That's actually a really strong track for Bob.
Okay,
yeah, so
well,
the Bob Nestor in the 29 Wonka machine. Yeah, one thing I'll remember all year, and it's probably far from the truth there, but Joe Stafford won his championship, but did not had to share the stage with Bob Nestor at Phoenix. So yeah, smart money's there on the 29 machine.
Yeah, and they're both from southeastern Pennsylvania. Bob is from Lansdale, Pennsylvania, and then, of course, Stafford is from Philadelphia itself. And, I mean, they're both really good. They both practice that track specifically. And Bob is one of these guys who you can watch him kind of lurking. He's a lurker. He'll hang out, like, you know, at about 10th, and then as the race gets later and later, he does exactly what he did here. Take that late pit stop, have a little bit fresher tires. Somebody's bound to spin tires on a late caution, and he'll capitalize on that.
That's a pretty good strategy. I mean, it's strategy you don't hear of a lot, and it's neat to see that somebody like that's got that kind of knowledge of what the other cars around. Oh, as we got the Napa bounced off like a pinball machine, trying to see who was driving that machine. No caution as of yet here with 9 laps to go.
Jeff Carson in the 93. Able to keep it good. pretty much the only battle in the top 10. Nicholas Bridenbach just got the twofer from Ryan Samuelson and RJ Root, as he is on a tear trying to get up to Alex Murray. About a 5-second gap. Very hurtful pit stop to put him about a second back, and then James Ray had obviously a huge...
Oh, and he 8 cars loose coming out of turn 4. Hits the wall.
Oh, caution out. With 7 to go. RJ Root, some right front damage on that number 8 machine. Looks like a lot of similar damage that we saw earlier to a couple of cars. So, unfortunate break for RJ, as maybe we can rewind and see what happened to him.
Oh, it's RJ Root.
Looks like RJ caught the apron a little bit and got himself off track.
Just gets loose, touches the apron. Self-proclaimed self-spin there. So 6 laps to go. Probably going to go to about 4 laps to go.
And we're going to have ourselves a shootout here in the Wild Wild West.
Yeah, definitely in the desert there. As a huge amount of viewers over there on YouTube, guys, be sure to let us know who you're here to watch. At the very least, if you haven't already, go ahead and like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff to our YouTube channel. We also have the action running on Facebook, if that's more to your liking. And over to facebook.com/simracingmedia is what we are called over there. Wherever you're at, though, we appreciate the heck out of you watching here from Davis Brothers Roofing, and all of us here just appreciate the heck out of you, as we have I would not have called this everybody in the top 10 other than Alex Brenton and Dalton Mobley coming down for tires.
Yeah, I think that's what I was talking about. Rolling the dice here at Vegas, giving it all you got, putting all the deck of cards on the table. Some driver's going to come up with a full house or a 777, 3 cherries, whatever you want to call it. That's what they're doing right now. This is the money stop. This is the gamble. We are at Las Vegas. It is home of gambling, and we are seeing it here on pit road before your own very eyes. And it is going to be one heck of a shootout when we go back to green, guys. I'm just sitting here on the edge of my seat. I just couldn't be more excited to see who is going to grab Lady Luck in victory lane. And man, I'm going to tell you what, that 19 of Princeton has gone up 33 spots, but so has Mobley. So both of these cars, I mean, Princeton has been that sleeper, in my opinion, all night. And if there's going to be somebody that's going to have a shot at beating it from James Ray at the line, I'm going to go with Princeton in that 19. He seems to have a little bit of strategy. I'm actually very comfortable with his strategy I'm seeing here. Something that I would do. But will it pay off for him? It's yet to be seen. Guys?
Yeah, Alex Princeton, Dalton Mobley was another one. We saw him stay out till lap 1:15, so hopefully tire fall off isn't that bad. Dalton has a some speed. James Ray, though, is going to start outside row 2 and see if that's going to be an advantage. But Alex Murray, he's been around the whole time. As much as we've talked about James Ray, we haven't talked about Alex Murray, though he deserves it. He's been in second or third for the majority of the race and also led a few laps earlier. Nicholas Bridenbach, we saw he has more of a long-run car. I'm excited to see what adjustments he made to that 24 car to get it up there to be able to push. And then, of course, Ryan Samuelson lost the teammate in that last bit. So a lot of onesies and twosies. I don't think anybody really has any help. Princeton and Mobley are going to be drag racing to the line. Dave, which do you want to be high or low here? If there's a choose coming, where are you going?
I'm definitely going high. Being down low, you run a better risk of accidentally catching that apron like RJ just did a couple of laps ago to bring out the caution. Being on the high side, you can carry a lot more momentum, which seems to be more beneficial, at least here. Your passing lane is on the low side, but only once you're up to speed.
Yeah, so with Alex being in the older tires, he needs every advantage he can get. Luckily, he's got the pick of Chad Sanner, who is on older tires as well. But Alex got to get a good jump here. Dalton Mobley, I dare say, has to get the best jump to keep James Ray in the rearview mirror, as the pace car is going to take the hard left turn down pit road. We're going to have an organic green-white checkered once they hit turn 4, as the waiver run cars come there in the background. James Ray is your car to watch. Nicholas Bridenbach, Alex Murray there from 4th to 6th. Can Alex Princeton and Dalton Mobley hold him off on old tires? That is yet to be seen here with 2 laps to go. Man, it is excitement. It's getting hot here in Vegas, even though they just had snow this weekend. There we go. Ford Fusion taking that left. Alex has the button whenever he's ready. They're going to hold everybody up, try and get the best advantage they can. James Ray tries to go through the 77. Nothing doing there. The 77 is going to be backing off of Alex Princeton. Give him the high line. Get the advantage, as we're almost went 3 wide there with Chad Zanner on the bottom. James Ray going to stick his nose in the middle there. Contact between him and Dalton Mobley. Still 3 wide coming down the Nellis straightaway.
Wow, 3 wide coming into, and we have a caution. Jeff Carson and Josh Ward possibly got together. And Brian Tarnowski, unfortunately, involved in this one as well. As let's take a look at the replay and see what happened to those gentlemen.
Oh, Brian Tarnowski gets into the wall, pushes him right down into the 1 of Josh Ward, and the 63 of Jeff Carson. Very unfortunate for the 5 there. Very unfortunate for Brian, but always next week there for him.
Well, and the caution coming out at just the perfect time for James Ray, who got himself into P2, so he'll restart on the front row. So as long as he gets himself a pretty good restart here, we should see him hop right out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if he gets that outside line, he's not been up on the high side much. So it's going to be interesting to see which line the leader chooses. James Ray's been more a run low kind of driver. So I don't think that's going to be enough to stop him, but it's going to be enough for Princeton to at least pull away a little bit on the start. If Princeton is able to start on the high side, start on the low side, it forces the 00, who's kind of out of his comfort zone, up on the high side. So that's my observation tonight.
Yeah, interesting.
James Ray, inside line driver.
Interesting point there. I don't think James has had to start from the top. And Alex Princeton has the button. He can hold back as long as he needs to until that green flag comes out. And it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation with James Ray, because he has been able to fly through the gears. So I think we're going to see a couple mind games here with Alex Princeton within the rules. Hopefully he can get a good jump, because he absolutely has to repeat what he did last restart that got him out in front of Dalton Mobley, able to arc into that turn a little better. But all that being said, if James Ray is able to pull this off and get past Alex Princeton, he's got a couple cars that are going to be a lot slower than Alex Murray and Nicholas Bridenbach, Randy Spivey, Brian Samuelson, those that have the same tires that he does. He's got some older tires in between, so I like his odds if he's able to get out in front of Alex Princeton. But if they slow down at all and there's a checkup, look for those guys to get by and make their way up there.
Yeah, and I know that James Ray is going to definitely want to try and get out front ASAP, because if there is going to be any kind of wreck, he wants to be in front of it. He doesn't want to be part of it or get collected in it. So James Ray is going to do all he can to get out front, because some of these cars with the older tires may cause a little bit of ugliness possibly with a couple to go. So I'm just going to throw that out there. I kind of predict another wreck, but maybe not necessarily another caution. So I think it's going to be a last lap caution. I mean, last lap wreck, I should say. And if I was starting in the front, I would do everything I could to stay up there and out of that, because my crystal ball is working. And we'll see if it actually holds true. But we're going to have one more to go here, as pace car still does have its lights on. And next time by, we'll duck it in and see what we got.
Yeah, as we crystal ball in front of you, broom in the corner, isn't that right?
That's right.
I'm playing with you as the lights are out here. You are correct. Alex Princeton, James Ray getting ready. Got to get the marbles off the tires. A little bit of a shake up there as everybody's doing the Boston wiggle, trying to make sure they get those tires clean.
Man, you've mentioned two Northeastern things there in one shot. You mentioned basically the witchery of Salem, and then you go straight to the Boston situation. So, Mr. Massachusetts over here.
I forget about it. I don't know. Can't do a Boston accent on the spot like that.
As long as you don't park the car in Harvard Yard. Have you heard that one?
I just did. Alex Princeton's in first place. The lone Toyota in the top 10. See if he can hold it down for the Toyota manufacturer, and then a host of Chevys, couple Fords down there in Alex Murray. As we're going to get one more chance at this, or your first overtime, your first official overtime. Green, white, checkered. Alex Princeton holding him up just like we thought he would, and then he's going to go. Did not get a super good jump on James Ray, but Dalton Mobley, something happened with James Ray there as he is not able to get through the gears. Dalton Mobley able to clear. He's going to bring up Alex Murray as well, as James Ray falls back to fourth. Behind him, Chad Sanner and Randy Spivey side by side, door to door there as Randy Spivey goes to the infield. They're wrecking. That is going to be a caution. We are watching it.
The 81 machine of Ryan Samuelson, hard lick to the inside retaining wall. Got a couple other cars collected in this one. Tough break for those machines, as they were having a fantastic night here in the closing laps. That 81 got front and rear and side damage.
Oh. Shifted and got loose, and there was a bunch of stuff happening around that time. Multiple incidents.
Well, that'll make things interesting as we get reset here.
Yeah, you know, I was about to say, out of everybody, other than Randy Spivey, Ryan Samuelson, and Chad Sanner, of course, because their race is all but done, Alex Princeton had exactly the start he needed. He had everybody up there with him that he wanted to have. Dalton Mobley, Alex Murray came up as well, and they pushed James Ray all the way to fourth.
I'll tell you what, the car that I'm watching right now is the 84 driven by Andrew Layton. He is Mr. Patience when it comes to this stuff here toward the end of a race. And he's going to be hanging out there alongside of James Ray. Should be on the inside of row 3. He's somebody that's going to sit here and wonder if they're going to be making a mistake up at the front, and he's going to be able to capitalize on it.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk to I'm going to go ahead and pull in Jeff. Where's he at? Jeff Cronin from 23XI. Real quick. Jeff, it's James in the booth. You got me?
Who are you looking for?
This is James in the broadcast booth. I'm talking to you because you're in ninth and you got a couple fans. Just talking about what's the plan for the restart here and how, what are you thinking coming to the green?
Well, first of all, keep it clean. Car seems to like the draft a little bit, so just going to try to follow some of these faster guys around me here and keep it to the floor. Hope for a little bit of luck and, you know, just a couple of clean laps. Looking to join my teammate up there, doing a fine job in first place.
There you go, the teammate of Alex Princeton up there. But, man, having a great run. I know we got some fans in the stands, but we're 2x2. I'll let you get back up there. Good luck getting through the mess that's about to happen.
Sure, thanks, guys.
The mess that's about to happen is definitely the best words of the week so far.
We'll see. You know, she's got Rhea's got her crystal ball. I've got mine. What the FBI would call a clue when you get all these guys up here. Lap 110, Alex Princeton last came in. Dalton Mobley, lap 115, and then a whole mess of 130s. Just going to have to get by him. We already saw James Ray on a restart pushing the daylights out of Dalton Mobley, the restart before last. So he's going to have another opportunity, almost a shot-for-shot remake of the second to last restart, where Alex Princeton has rotated with somebody. But they're going to be... James Ray is going to be able to push Dalton Mobley again on the top side. Man, it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, we'll shake him up one more time here. We'll do our round 2 of the what am I trying to say here?
Green, white, checkered.
Yes. Sorry about that. I brain farted, so it happens. So I just call it GWC, but I couldn't even remember that for some reason. So
If you're talking during a brain fart, does that make it more like a brain shart?
yeah, I think it does, and it just adds insult to injury if you do that. So I need to probably keep my brain farts to myself from now on. But
I'll have to go to Tony for a review when we work together on Tuesday.
That's Alex Princeton, Dalton Mobley. 2 Alexes in the top 5 for the first time that I'm seeing or noticing. I'm sure it's happened before. James Ray in 4th. Andrew Layton going to be on the bottom top side. Steve Dardaris, who is another name that I have not said too much, but is always in the mix. He's made his way back up there as Alex Princeton. There we go. Pace car is going to come down. Alex Murray giving him a ton of time. Check up hard. That's going to give Alex Princeton the go-ahead. Alex Murray there on his inside. Dalton Mobley not going to be able to capitalize. James Ray in the 00 still stuck high, unable to work with those new tires. He wants to get low as soon as possible. So far, nothing doing as we've made it past the Nellis backstretch, coming to the white flag. Alex Princeton and Alex Murray is where the battle is happening right now. James Ray to the inside of Dalton Mobley. His hopes are all but gone as the 2 Alexes battle it out coming into 1.
yeah, and I don't know. James Ray's starting to time, and Alex Murray on 19. Laps
There's
younger
contact.
tire. Looks like 19 car of Princeton. Not letting it going to be easy. James Ray to the outside.
James Ray coming to the outside.
Oh,
Brecken
we have a
behind
wreck
him.
in the
Going to get to the
back, but-
bottom. Alex Murray, however, is going to be your leader. James Ray working it across the line in second. Andrew Layton in third. Fourth, Alex Prince and Joe Stafford in fifth. And Lauren Jones was involved in that last lap hubbalub. Jeff C. as well. Robert Nestor. Dalton Mobley rounding out your top 10.
See, I would have called it melee, but, you know.
The race kerfuffle.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it was I don't know. It was more like a race cheese puff because it was a Cheeto car that got involved in it. So, and it got involved with, I'm checking the replay here. It looks like it might have got involved with 77. Yep.
Dalton Mobley gets in the wall, yeah. Slows up. So let's go live and check out Alex Murray as he's going to burn it down here at the DBR 200 at Las Vegas. Brought to you by Davis Brothers Roofing, Buttkicker, Inville Insurance Group, and Majors Garage. What a finish by Alex Murray. Able to come from probably about third, fourth back on the restarts, methodically make his way through. There on the bottom line for Field Filler Racing. Doing the burnouts with RJ Root and Ryan Samuelson, the teammates there. Let's go ahead. Talk to our third place finisher, Andrew Layton. Andrew, it's James in the booth, man. Congratulations on the third place finish.
Thank you, James. Appreciate it, buddy.
So coming to the checkered after all the restarts, just tell us what was going through your head as they just kept coming.
Well, fortunately, we got a good restart on that last caution, and we were able to stay up with him and get under Dalton at the last minute there. So it was a lot of stress, but I'm glad it worked out the way it did.
Definitely. We see a door banging there to get to the bottom as James Ray goes from top to bottom on the block. Well, as we were talking about, yeah, we'll leave that for the viewers, but as we were talking about the restarts and just the attrition, what was the pit crew telling you? What was the strategy coming into this thing as it played out?
The strategy was just to stay out of trouble and let the cards fall where they fall, you know. And that was my game plan tonight.
Definitely. Well, tell us who you want to shout out, who you want to thank on that 84 Hawaiian Punch machine.
Well, my team, they helped me a lot. 10 Floor and DJ Racing and Outlaws, and you for the broadcast, and Chris for putting all this on. It's a great league.
Definitely. Well, Andrew, hopefully we talk to you again next week. And once again, man, congratulations on the top 3.
Thank you, James. Have a good night.
You as well, sir. And then, Rhea, I believe you have James Ray in the booth with you.
Yes, Mr. Ray, congratulations on a P2. I know you came into this one kind of being the hometown hero out of Fallon, Nevada, up there in northern part of the state. Walk us through. I mean, you had a dominating car from start to finish. Didn't have quite enough to get it done for P1 tonight, but P2's got to feel pretty good.
Oh, yeah, I'll take it. I mean, I didn't need that one cautionary. After the green flag pit stops, I felt like I was pretty good there on 2-tire stop, and I was checking out. But, hey, that's how they fall sometimes.
So those restarts, you were noticeably really strong on those restarts and getting through the gears when you were the car coming off, taking the green on those restarts in P1. But those last couple late cautions that we had there, were you as smooth on the shifter, or was it something else? Maybe tire spin? we were noticing that you just weren't having those restarts that you once were. Walk us through what those reasons are.
It's hard to start behind somebody and try to get the jump and just go through the gears. And I don't know, I was pushing the 77 twice there, but I didn't want to jump out of line and get no black flag. So you just got to kind of sit there and wait till you get across start finish line to make your move.
Yeah. Well, you had one heck of a points day, I'm sure. Coming into this one deep in the standings. I can only imagine that you've climbed quite high up there. Looking into the future, tracks like this, Kansas and Atlanta, Charlotte, Texas, a lot of tracks that are similar to this. Are we going to see more of James Ray up front at those mile and a halves?
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty good with them there. I like them, and I like the momentum tracks. As long as you can keep the momentum up and save the right front tire, you'll be all right.
10-4. Well, we got Phoenix next week. Good luck to you and the guys there on your team out in the desert there in the midst of all the saguaro cacti. And be excited to cover that race with you as well. But before we let you go from your awesome P2 finish, do you have anybody that you would like to thank or give a shout out to?
I'll give a shout out to Adrenaline Sparks Designs and EE Sports that put all this behind me and keep me in these nice looking cars.
Awesome, James. Well, it was a pleasure seeing you out front most of the race, and again, congratulations on P2 and a great points day for you and that 00 team. So see you next week at Phoenix.
Yes, thank you guys.
Next, we have our race winner, Alex Murray, making it happen pretty much on the restart there. Tell us what was going through your head when you had James Ray, Dalton Mobley, all those guys in the rearview mirror.
Basically just knew I had to get a good launch there. I knew Princeton was going to go pretty late, but not too early, not too late, kind of in the middle there. So timed it right, pushed him out, had to make the move in 3 and 4 there, coming to the white. I knew I was on fresher tires than him, so just had to make it happen that way instead of waiting for the turn 4 pass.
Definitely. You lined it up just absolutely fantastic. Tell us about the race and what it was like having to do so many restarts and waiting for your shot to make that pass happen.
Biggest thing was I was just so loose in fresh air. The dirty air was keeping the car stable, got out to clean air, and I would just get really loose. So I was just kind of biding my time there. I knew if I got out front with new tires, I'd be fine, but on the old tires, it was really bad. So, but on the restarts, it was more of a chess game there. Kind of have to predict on when the guy in front of you is going to go, try to get the best launch you can without running them over. So it was definitely a hard game to play.
Definitely. Well, you played it well, came through, got the dub in that number 40 machine. Tell us who you got on it and who you want to shout out.
Just Edge Setup Shop. We build some of the best setups on the service and got really, really good drivers on the team, and Ryan Shaw works his butt off, and we get it done with little to no backing other than ourselves. So we work really hard on that, and Charge Racing and FFR, HyperX, Cyberpower PC, Buttkicker, everyone who backs me. Got to thank my girlfriend and all my family supporting me. It's been a rough season up to this point, but we're gonna start here and push forward and look forward to the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely locked in. You're able to make it there. Hopefully, we'll talk to you next week after Phoenix, sir. Congratulations on the win again.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you.
All right, Rhea, there you go. I'm going to go ahead and put the results up for the race. You've been watching, of course, first Alex Murray, James Ray coming across the line in second, Andrew Layton in third, Alex Princeton there in fourth, Joe Stafford finishing out your top 5. Then we got Lauren Jones and Steve Dardaris there in 7th, Jeff C. in 8th, Bob Nestor 9th, and Dalton Mobley in 10th.
Yeah, Nicholas Bridenbach brings it home 11th. Ryan Samuelson 12th. Nolan Hodgson, pretty good run for him tonight. P13. Excuse me. Barrett Coffey had a little bit of trouble earlier in the race. He got 14th tonight. Jeff Carson 15th. Kevin Rourke finishes 16th. John Buwalda 17th. Seba Cornez recovered a little bit from some of the mishaps tonight. Got P18 out of the deal. Brad Gunn 19th. Randy Spivey rounds out your top 20.
And then we got Chad Sander, William Fink, RJ Root, Josh Ward, and Brian Tarnowski in 25th, 26th position. Dakota Cave, Chris Claude, Jared Small, Matthew Gaskins, Derek Jacobs, JC Gibson in 31st, Jeff O'Rourke 32nd, Steve Giverson 33rd, Chad Khalif 34th, Christian Stewart 35, 36. Going to be Dave Regal. Then we got Tony Burt, Charles Eaton, Kavaja Holt getting it wrong, lap 9, very unfortunate for him, and Austin Story in 40th. That's going to finish it off here for us, Rhea. Thanks for stepping in and making this broadcast look good. And as always, hopefully we will talk to you next week.
All right, sir. I'm looking forward to it. See you then.